Can you solve all these Class 10 Science Chapter 9 Heredity and Evolution questions? Human male have?
Nice selection. Y chromosomes is correct.
Genes are present?
Smart pick. On chromosomes is correct.
Evolution means dash.
Right again. Gradual development is valid.
A version of a gene.
You got it. Allele fits.
Rana does not contain.
Sharp thinking. Desoxyribose is right.
Homologous organ have? Great thinking. Same structure, different function is right. What makes up a codon? Correct. 3 nucleotides is spot on.
Genetics is the study of.
Correct response. Heredity is accurate.
Dominant or recessive. Deed. Great job. Dominant is accurate. Mammals have evolved from? Good thinking. Reptiles is right.
What does TRENA stand for?
Solid response. Transfer runner is valid. All mutations are harmful.
Nicely done. False is solid. Protein synthesis means dash.
Perfect. Production of proteins is the one. The different forms of a gene. Strong choice. Alleles is right. Phenotype determines genotype. Smart move. False is accurate answer.
Identify the correct sequence.
Excellent. Egyptopithecus, Diopithecus, Ramapithecus, Australopithecus is well reasoned.
Wings of birds and insects are?
Bravo. Analogous organs is the answer.
Which rana carries the message?
Valid point. Minna is true.
Mutations are a change in what?
Right choice. Dines. Who is the father of evolution? Good job. Darwin works well. The disappearance of a species. Well picked. Extinction is correct.
Wings of butterfly and bats are?
Excellent choice. Analogous organs is right.
Has 2 different alleles is dash.
You chose heterozygous. Correct.
Evolution is not a fast process.
Well done. True is right. Who is the father of genetics?
You're right. Gregor Johann Mendel is correct.
Has 2 of the same alleles is dash. Well reasoned. Homozygous is correct.
Who is known as father of genetics?
Exactly. Gregor Johann Mendel makes sense.
What is a useless structure called?
On track. Vestigial is correct.
Odd one out. Minna, rana, crina, trina.
Clear logic. Ray is sound. Which of the following is dominant? Nice work. None of the options fits perfectly. What is the basic unit of heredity? Excellent. Genes is well reasoned. What did Turner bring to the ribosome? You got it. Amino acids fits. What enzyme does transcription use? Exactly. RNA polymerase makes sense.
Where does transcription take place?
Good job. Nucleus works well. Dash is not a vestigial organ in man.
Well reasoned. Duodenum is correct.
Where would you find the anticodon? You chose Trenna, correct? Evolution explains the origin of dash.
Strong choice. Species is right.
Who proposed the theory of evolution? You're right. Charles Darwin is correct. Darwin has published book titled Dash.
Nicely done. Origin of species is solid.
Which of this is not a vestigial organ?
Good thinking. Pancreas is right.
The origin of universe is explained by.
Great thinking. Big Bang Theory is right.
Dash is the pioneer of modern genetics. Valid point. Gregor Johann Mendel is true. An organism's genetic makeup is a dash. Well done. Genotype is right.
Phenotypes are only based on genotypes.
Sharp thinking. False is right. Remains of ancient organisms are called. Well picked. Fossils is correct. DNA is found in the nucleus of the cell. Excellent choice. True is right. Known as the father of modern genetics.
Nice work. Mendel fits perfectly.
Codons are made of how many amino acids? On track. 20 is correct.
Who determines the sex of the offspring?
Right choice. Father is best. Dominant alleles are represented with a. Clear logic. Capital letter is sound. The second generation has variations from.
Correct. Both is spot on.
Mendelian monohybrid phenotypic ratio is. Correct response. 3:1 is accurate. What is not an inherited trait of humans? Solid response. Favorite type of music is valid. Nucleotide sequence on Trenna is called dash. Smart pick. Anticodon is correct.
What is the genotype of a pure tall plant?
Smart move. TT is accurate answer. The scientist who gave theory of evolution. Great job. Charles Darwin is accurate. Process of runner synthesis is called as dash. Nice selection. Transcription is correct. Dash brings the coded message from the DNA. Perfect. Minna is the one. Evolution of wild cabbage is an example of. Bravo. Artificial selection is the answer. The phenotypic ratio of monohybrid crosses.
Right again. 3:1 is valid.
Branch dealing with the study of fossils is. Good thinking. Paleontology is right. Who is considered the father of genetics?
Perfect. Gregor Johann Mendel is the one.
Who is considered as the father of evolution? Smart pick. Charles Darwin is correct. Mendel studied maths and science in the dash. Good job. University of Vienna works well. Exchange of genetic material takes place in. Solid response. Sexual reproduction is valid. Humans have a coccyx, a leftover tailbone. Correct response. Evidence of evolution is accurate. What is the correct order to make a protein? You're right. Dina, Rana, protein is correct. What is the photograph of chromosome called?
Nice selection. Karyotype is correct.
Which of the following is an inherited trait? Valid point. Attached earlobe is true. The allele that is fully expressed by itself. Sharp thinking. Dominant is right. Arna has what base that is instead of thymine?
Right again. Uracil is valid.
Medal selected which plant for his experiment?
You got it. P fits.
What is the genotypic ratio in dihybrid cross?
Correct. None of these is spot on.
The protein is synthesized by Rana through Na. Exactly. False makes sense. Which macromolecule is made up of amino acids? Smart move. Protein is accurate answer.
These are natural differences within a species.
Excellent. Genetic variation is well reasoned. Wings of bat and that of a bird are examples of.
Nicely done. Analogous organs is solid.
Neck of giraffe is an example of which concept? Well picked. Lamarckism is correct.
Basic unit of heredity present in chromosome is?
Clear logic. Gene is sound. The theory of natural selection was proposed by? On track. Charles Darwin is correct.
Survival of the fittest describes which theory?
Well reasoned. Natural selection is correct. With whom you can associate theory of evolution?
You chose Charles Darwin. Correct.
Carbon dating is a method used in which process? Great thinking. Paleontological evidence is right. Which of the following organisms can change sex? Great job. Snails is accurate. Dash man evolved about 50,000 years ago. Strong choice. Cro-Magnon is right. Speciation takes place when variation occurs with. Well done. Geographical isolation is right. The process in which populations change over time. Nice work. Evolution fits perfectly. Who introduced the theory of survival of fittest? Excellent choice. Darwin is right. A unit of genetic material that determines a trait.
Bravo. Gene is the answer.
Evolution means that organisms changed by chance. Right choice. False is best. Section of Na that provide information to protein. Sharp thinking. Gene is right.
What is a structure that is similar across species?
Homologous is the answer. An organism's genetic makeup or allele combination. Right again. Genotype is valid. Heredity is the passing of traits from dash to dash. You chose parents to offspring. Correct. The concept of use or disuse of organs was given by? Good thinking. Lamarck is right.
Which of the following decides the sex of the child?
Well picked. Male gamete, i.e., sperm, is correct. Which of the following is the heterozygous genotype? Great job. DD is accurate. Who discovered the triplet codon for 20 amino acids? Good job. Dr. Hargovan Khurana works well. Which of the following is the ancestor of broccoli? Well done. Wild cabbage is right.
Odd one out, coccyx, intestine, wisdom teeth, appendix.
Correct response. Intestine is accurate.
In human being, the X chromosome is the genotype of a.
Right choice. Male is best. True or false? Mutations only harm chances of survival. Nice selection. False is correct.
The heredity units, which are stretches of DNA, called.
Nicely done. Genes is solid. What is the phenotype of a plant with the genotype T? Solid response. Tall is valid. Which of the following can be called a characteristic?
Strong choice. All of these is right.
Which of the following ISC are unicellular organism? Nice work. All of the above fits perfectly. Sex-linked alleles are only found on the X chromosome. Valid point. False is true.
Dash can be considered as the first example of wise man.
Smart pick. Neanderthal man is correct. Both strands of DNA are used in the production of minna. Clear logic. False is sound. The visible characteristics in an organism are known as. Well reasoned. Phenotype is correct. In evolutionary terms, we have more in common with Dash. You got it. An African school boy fits. Plant breeding and animal breeding are the examples of. Excellent choice. Artificial selection is right. Who proposed the theory of evolution?
Smart move. Charles Darwin is accurate answer.
When the two alleles of a particular gene are different.
Correct. Heterozygous is spot on. Structures are similar in function, but not in structure.
You're right. Analogous structures is correct.
The genetic code can help you translate minna into Dash.
Great thinking. Amino acids is right. One among these proposed the theory of natural selection. Exactly. Charles Darwin makes sense. Which of these is not a vestigial organ in human beings? Excellent. Gallbladder is well reasoned. The passing of genetic traits from parents to offspring. On track. Heredity is correct. Dash is the connecting link between reptiles and mammals. Perfect. Duck-billed platypus is the one. Information about protein synthesis is stored in the dash. Nice work. Dina fits perfectly. Who among the following first coined the term genetics?
Well done. William Bateson is right.
The wings of housefly and the wings of bat are example of. Great job. Analogous organs is accurate. In the F1 generation, only recessive traits are expressed.
Good job. False works well.
Genetic differences between organisms of the same species. Well picked. Variation is correct. Which of the following affects the process of speciation? Smart move. All of these is accurate answer. Transfer of information from a molecule of DE to MINA is
Clear logic. Transcription is sound.
Which type of reproduction maximizes the rate of variation? Right again. Sexual reproduction is valid.
Proteins synthesized by DNA through the RNA is called dash.
right choice. Central dogma is best. Which section of DNA provides information for one protein?
Nice selection. Gene is correct.
A diagram used to predict the outcomes of a genetic cross.
Correct response. Punnett square is accurate.
How many pairs of non-sex chromosomes are there in humans? Good thinking. 22 pairs is right.
Human baby will be a female if its 23rd chromosome pair is. Valid point. X is true.
Connecting link suggests that amphibians are evolved from.
Perfect. Fishes is the one. Dominant traits are the most common traits in a population.
Exactly. False makes sense.
Which of the following is a recessive trait in garden peas?
Smart pick. Wrinkled seeds is correct.
What are the two genotypes that show the dominant phenotype?
Correct. Gigi is spot on. Which of the following must occur for speciation to happen?
Nicely done. Reproductive isolation is solid.
The characteristic, which is visible in an organism, is called? Bravo. Phenotype is the answer. What is the probability that the male progeny will be a boy? Excellent choice. 50% is right. Dash is the observable set of characteristics of an organism. On track. Phenotype is correct.
This trait is hidden whenever the dominant allele is present.
You got it? Recessive allele fits. Which of the following factor determine the sex of offspring? Strong choice. Chromosome of father is right.
The trait transfer from one generation to another generation.
Well reasoned. Inherited traits is correct.
Pair of chromosomes were first observed in the cells of dash.
Great thinking. Grasshopper is right. Which is the connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda?
Solid response.
Peripatus is valid.
Theory of inheritance of acquired characters is also known as.
Excellent. Lamarckism is well reasoned.
When all of the organisms of a species have died, it is called.
You chose extinction. Correct?
An organism's physical appearance of visible traits is a dash.
You're right. Phenotype is correct.
Which of the following is not a vestigial structure in humans?
Sharp thinking. Hair on skin is right. The fossils of invertebrates indicate they belong to which era?
Nice work. Paleozoic era fits perfectly.
If organisms become more alike, what type of evolution occurred?
Smart pick. Convergent is correct.
Which of the following nitrogenous base is not present in Na?
Nice selection. Uracil is correct. Adenine can pair with which of the following nitrogenous bases? On track, both B and C is correct.
The ratio of pure tall and pure short plant in F2 generation is.
Great job. 1-1 is accurate. The evolution of a new species from an existing species is dash. Strong choice. Speciation is right. Characters transmitted from parents to offsprings are present in. Well done. Genes is right.
The number of pair of sex chromosomes in the zygote of humans is?
You're right. 1 is correct.
Dash is the passing of traits from parents to offspring.
Right choice. Heredity is best.
Dash billion years ago, life had been non-existent on the Earth.
Bravo. 3.5 is the answer. Mendel conducted his famous breeding experiments by working on.
You chose Pisum sativum. Correct?
Light-sensitive spots first appeared in which of these organisms?
Clear logic. Planaria is sound.
Which of the following can be inherited from parents to offspring?
Sharp thinking. Big nose is right.
An organism that has 2 identical alleles for a trait.
Exactly. Homozygous makes sense.
All males have the genotype Psi and all females have genotypes XX.
Perfect. False is the one.
Vestigial organ dash, present in human body, is proof of evolution.
Right again. Appendix is valid.
Which of the following modes of reproduction leads to variations?
Good thinking. Both is right.
The condition where 2 alleles of a specific trait are different.
Valid point. Heterozygous is true.
What is the study of organisms at the early stages of development?
Good job. Embryology works well.
What type of RNA moves to the ribosome to start protein synthesis?
Excellent choice. Minna is right.
Mistakes or changes that occur in DNA sequence are called dash.
Correct. Mutations is spot on.
The phenomenon that studies how new species are formed is known as.
Well picked. Speciation is correct.
Wisdom teeth and vermiform appendix in human being are examples of.
Nicely done. Vestigial organs is solid.
Mendel used a number of contrasting visible characteristics of dash.
You got it. Garden peas fits.
The emergence of new rivers or streams is a type of dash isolation.
Great thinking. Geographic is right.
About 10,000 years ago, Dash started a practices of agriculture.
Smart move. Wise man is accurate answer.
A gradual changes over a long period in a form of life is known as.
Correct response.
Evolution is accurate. The theory of evolution of species by natural selection was given by. Well reasoned. Darwin is correct.
This trait always shows up in an organism when the allele is present. Excellent. Dominant allele is well reasoned.
Say true or false. Appendix is a fully functional organ in ruminants.
Solid response. True is valid.
Which of the following would represent a sudden environmental change?
Good thinking. Wildfire is right.
The organism, which is a connecting link between birds and reptiles, is.
Correct response. Archaeopteryx is accurate.
True or false? The sugar in a nucleotide of DNA is called deoxyribose.
Great thinking. True is right.
Where was the first member of the human race Homo sapiens discovered?
Well done. Africa is right.
The transfer of various characters from parent to child is called dash.
Perfect. Heredity is the one.
Do both the parents contribute delay equally during sexual reproduction?
You're right. True is correct. Survival of the fittest and evolution were proposed by what scientist?
Right choice. Charles Darwin is best.
The offspring of a cross between parents that have contrasting traits. Smart pick. Hybrid is correct.
A cross in which two contrasting characters are studied is called dash.
Excellent choice. The hybrid cross is right.
The crossing of two pea plant which differ in two character is known as.
Exactly. The hybrid cross makes sense.
Hugo de Vries introduced the concept of sudden change in genes known as.
Well reasoned. Mutation is correct.
Members of the same species will always have a similar body appearance.
You got it. False fits.
Which structure will be found in the nucleus of a body cell in a woman?
Correct. X chromosome is spot on.
An allele whose trait only shows up when no dominant allele is present. You chose recessive allele. Correct. Organisms which have similar function but different structure are called.
Great job. Analogous organs is accurate.
In a dihybrid cross, how many boxes does the Punnett square need to have?
Right again. 16 is valid.
Characters that are passed on from parents to offspring are also known as. Excellent. Inherited characters is well reasoned. If a child has red hair, they inherited a certain dash from their parents. Clear logic, trait is sound. Dash is a gradual change occurring in living organisms over a long duration. Nice work. Evolution fits perfectly. What specialized structure do crabs have to protect them against predators? Solid response. A hard outer shell is valid. Transfer of information from molecule of DNA to mina is called dash process. Sharp thinking. Transcription is right. Mendel experiment with tall and staff pea plant showed that the traits may be.
Bravo. Both B and C is the answer.
Where the better adapted organisms survive to pass traits along to offspring. Strong choice. Natural selection is right. Which of the following is the connecting link between Annelida and Arthropoda? On track. Peripatus is correct. The surprise products formed in experiment conducted by Miller and Urey were.
Nicely done. Amino acids is solid.
The process by which new species develop from the existing species is known as. Well picked. Speciation is correct. The transmission of characters from the parents to their offsprings is called. Good job. Heredity works well. On which of the following characteristics of pea plant did Mendel worked upon? Nice selection. All of the above is correct. The code for each amino acids consisting of 3 nucleotides is called as dash. Valid point. Triplet codon is true. The ability of an organism to survive and reproduce in its specific environment.
Smart move. Fitness is accurate answer.
When two or more populations no longer successfully reproduce, it is called dash. You're right. Speciation is correct.
During reproduction, the development of zygote into male or female is called dash.
Right choice. Sex determination is best.
The differences in the characters among the individuals of a species are called.
Well picked. Variation is correct.
A characteristic that an organism can pass on to its offspring through its genes.
Excellent. Trait is well reasoned. Branch of science in which we study genes, variations, and heredity is called as.
Nicely done. Genetics is solid.
What part of a nucleotide accounts for the genetic variation between individuals?
Smart move. Nitrogenous base is accurate answer.
What do we call a group of individuals that can reproduce successfully in nature?
On track. Species is correct.
The modern-day human species has evolved from its earliest ancestors who lived in.
Good job. Africa works well.
The gradual change occurring in living organisms over a long duration is called as.
Great thinking. Evolution is right. As per the message on Minna, amino acids are supplied by Trena. This is called as dash. Correct response. Translation is accurate.
The allele that is not expressed when the dominant corresponding allele is present.
Strong choice. Recessive is right.
A couple has 2 daughters. What is the possibility of their having a girl next time?
Smart pick. 0.5 is correct.
Proved that except viruses, all living organisms have DNA as their genetic material.
Excellent choice. All of these is right.
A detectable trait or traits that result from the genotype, such as color, shape, etc.
Sharp thinking. Phenotype is right.
Which of the following types of runner carries information from the gene to the ribosome?
You got it? Minifits.
The process where characteristics are transmitted from parent to offsprings is called. Perfect. Heredity is the one.
The appendix is useful in ruminants for digestion of which of the following compounds?
Solid response. Cellulose is valid.
What is a trait that is passed from parents to offspring before the offspring is born?
Nice work. Inherited trait fits perfectly.
Who observed variations in the characteristics of plants and animals on the Galapagos?
Bravo! Darwin is the answer.
Which of the following is not a development that was seen in ape-like animals of Africa?
Great job. Upright posture is accurate.
In the course of evolution, formation of the new species of any organism is called dash.
Clear logic. Speciation is sound.
When Mendel crossed purebred tall and short pea plants, in the F1 generation, he observed.
Well done. All tall plants is right. Changes that give the organism the survival advantage in the environment are called dash.
Exactly. Adaptations make sense.
Organs which have different origin and shape but perform similar function are examples of.
You chose analogous organs. Correct. Populations of species which do not adapt to their environment can eventually become dash.
Nice selection. Extinct is correct. Natasha is suffering from a hereditary disease, so the doctor will give her treatment at. Well-reasoned. Genetic level is correct.
Which of the following is not a way desert animals have adapted to survive in the desert?
Correct. Small size is spot on. E. From the list given below, select the character which can be acquired but not inherited. Right again. Size of body is valid.
This is an inherited trait that helps an organism survive and reproduce in its environment.
Valid point. Adaptation is true.
The term for the formation of new and distinct species over the course of evolution is dash.
Good thinking. Speciation is right. How many different types of gametes will be produced by a plant having the genotype Gigir? G. Correct. 2 is spot. Organs which are of similar origin and shape but perform different functions are examples of smart pick. Homologous organs is correct.
Humans, chimpanzees, whales, and bats all have the same bones in their arms, fins, or wings.
Exactly. Evidence of evolution makes sense.
Which one of the following characteristics was not included in the experiments done by Mendel? Well-reasoned. Number of cotyledons is correct.
In human beings, the 23rd pair of chromosome that defines the sex of the individual is known as.
Good job. Sex chromosome works well. The remaps of dead animals or plant that lived in the remote past are known as. Great thinking. Fossils is right.
The phenomenon where individuals of a species exhibit differences in characteristics are called.
Nice work. Variation fits perfectly.
A chart that shows all the possible combinations of alleles that can result from a genetic cross.
Sharp thinking. Punnett square is right.
Physical traits or behaviors that enable an organism to survive natural conditions and thus evolve.
Valid point. Adaptations is true. The preserved remains of parts or whole of an organism's over a long period of time gives rise to a.
Strong choice. Fossil is right.
Links between organisms that show branching pattern of evolutionary relationships are shown by dash.
Nice selection. Phylogenetic trees is correct.
Right, true, or false for the following statements. In humans, there are 2 pairs of sex chromosomes.
Good thinking. False is right.
What is the probability that the male progeny will be a boy? A 50%, B 56%, C 47.43%, D it varies.
Excellent. 50% is well-reasoned.
Which of these parents will produce an offspring that does not look like its parents when it is you?
On track. Frog is correct.
If the organs are similar in function, but the basic structure are different, then they are called dash.
You're right. Analogous organs is correct.
A new form of plant resulting from a cross of different varieties of a plant is known as.
Right choice. Hybrid is best.
Kyrie is heterozygous, if is for waves and if for no waves. What is Kyrie's genotype and phenotype?
Right again.
waves is valid.
The tailbone, wisdom teeth, and appendix are all parts of the human anatomy that would be considered dash.
Nicely done. Vestigial structures is solid.
Carbon dating method measures the radioactivity of C14 and the ratio of dash present in the organism's body.
You got it, C14 to 12 fits.
Which mechanism of evolution occur when gene frequencies change over generations due to the random chance?
Well done. Genetic drift is right. In which of the following organisms sex is determined by the temperature at which fertilized eggs are kept?
Perfect. Reptiles is the one.
In addition to observing living organisms, Darwin studied the preserved remains of ancient organisms called.
Great job. Fossils is accurate.
If one strand of DNA has the sequence tag, the sequence of the other strand of the same molecule will be.
Smart move. Atweki is accurate answer.
Ruby crossed a tall pea plant with white flowers and a dwarf plant with violet flowers. She performed a dash.
You chose the hybrid cross? Correct. A group of organisms in which all organisms can reproduce to give birth to a fertile offspring is called dash.
Well picked. Species is correct. Corals are dying due to global warming. Evolution will eventually help the corals to survive in warmer waters.
Excellent choice. False is right. Which one of the following adaptation will be selected by natural selection in rabbits living in polar region? Clear logic? White-colored thick is sound.
Write true or false for the following statements. A child who inherits an X chromosome from father will be a boy. Correct response. False is accurate.
A cross between a tall plant and short pea plant resulted in progeny that were all tall plants because.
Solid response. Tallness is dominant trait is valid.
A rose plant has two genes for the expression of flower color R and R. So for flower color, the rose plant is.
Bravo. Heterozygous is the answer.
Change over time dash. You're right. Evolution is correct. Those organs which have different basic structure but have similar appearance and perform similar functions are called.
Correct. Analogous organs is spot on.
Choose the correct option.
Nice work. A equal to divergent, B equal to convergent, C equal to adaptive radiation fits perfectly.
After Mendel died, scientists began to recognize the importance of his ideas. They called him a name. What was that name?
On track. Father of genetics is correct.
What is this an example of?
Valid point. Fossil record is true.
A student wants to collect homologous organs for his project. Which of the following pair should he select for his project?
You chose ginger and turmeric. Correct.
A white-flowered plant is crossed with a red-flowered plant. The two traits have codominance. What color are the offspring? Right choice. Red and white spotted is best.
Two pink-colored flowers on crossing resulted in one red, two pink, and one white flower progeny. The nature of the cross will be.
Exactly. Self-pollination makes sense.
A basket of vegetables contains carrot, potato, radish, and tomato.
Which of them represent the correct homologous structures?
Well picked. Radish and carrot is correct. Segments of DNA are called dash.
Solid response. Genes is
What type of structures are shown?
Well done. Analogous is right.
carbon consumption of animals and plants stops after death, and since then, only the decaying process of what occurs continuously. Good job. C14 works well when a new plant is formed as a result of cross-pollination from different varieties of a plant. The newly formed plant is called perfect. Hybrid plant is the one. Rihanna is suffering from a genetic disorder known as sickle cell anemia. Which of the following processes is the cause of her condition? Strong choice. Mutation is right.
If a population becomes isolated from other populations of the same species, and then genetic differences start to occur, what happens?
Excellent. Speciation is well reasoned.
In humans, right-handedness is dominant over left-handedness. What could be the genotype of parent if their child is left-handed?
Nice selection. Red X-ray is correct.
This is a process by which organisms inherited advantageous traits that tend to reproduce more successfully than the other organisms do.
Excellent choice. Natural selection is right.
Chromosomes are found in the dash of the cell.
Correct response. Nucleus is accurate.
If a round, green seeded pea plant is crossed with wrinkled, yellow seeded pea plant, the seeds produced in F1 generation are
Sharp thinking. Round and yellow is right.
A pure tall pea plant is crossed with a short pea plant. The ratio of pure tall pea plant to the short pea plant producing in F2 generation is
smart move. 1-1 is accurate answer.
How many generations are shown in this pedigree?
You got it. Fulfits.
What type of isolation has occurred in the image?
Bravo. Geographic isolation is the answer.
Characteristic passed from parents to their young?
Great thinking. Inherited is right.
Physical traits that are expressed are known as dash. Nicely done. Phenotype is solid.
Which scientist came up with the theory of evolution?
Great job. Charles Darwin is accurate.
Right, true, or false for the following statements is C. In snails, individuals can change sex, indicating that sex is not genetically determined in them.
Good thinking. True is right.
Following image represents which law of inheritance?
Right again. Law of dominance is valid.
Which of the following best describes a Na molecule?
Well reasoned.
Double helix is correct.
In P, the pure tall plant is crossed with a pure short plant. The ratio of pure tall plant to pure short plant in F2 generation will be smart pick. 1-1 is correct. If a normal cell of human body contains 46 pairs of chromosomes, then the numbers of chromosomes in a sex cell of a human being is most likely to be
Clear logic. 23 is sound. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
You chose contact Narayan Changda on Facebook.
Correct.